Colleagues, it's Tusanang PM Sebata. I'm going to do a quick video on Agilent Technologies. I hope I get that name right. Agilent Technologies. I'll just call it A going forward from here on. And this video, you'll benefit more if you look at my video from last week where I was talking about weekend analysis, how I do my weekend analysis. But yeah, this time I'm coming up with actually, let me just give you a preview of what I called last week. I called it Agilent Sciences. I called it to have hit the bottom. It was time to buy it. This is the weekly setup. And what did we get after my call? We got a doji, a green doji. So it moved a little bit up. It was about 1.5% for the whole week. But the great thing was, yes, we called the bottom and it did not go further than that. This was a multi-time process. Even the weekly, the daily was also giving us the bottom. Same scenario which is happening today with Agilent Technologies. Where is this coming from? It's coming from the scan. Last week, in summary, my analysis was that the daily charts were grouping at the bottom and the weekly charts, most of them were at the top. So there was a contradiction in the market. And I said, if you are short something, you better hedge it because there's a potential the market would spike upwards for a week or two. It did spike last week. And yeah, if you hedged, I hope you benefited. If not, that was just a lesson. So this week, what am I saying? I'm seeing lots of stocks now grouping at the top. Now, most of them have the daily charts and the weekly charts agreeing. I'm only looking at charts of 20 billion and above, nothing less. And this scan, which I have here, is my first filter. I want them to be grouped at the top for the daily. Then I look at these stocks which are coming through as to what trend can I pick. The trend I could pick, but somebody else could pick something different. But yeah, that was me. I picked things to do with devices. Thermo Fisher has to do with devices. Here is another one, ADI, analog devices. And I came up, also found Agilent Technologies, and this MTD. You notice that this MTD, Agilent, ADI, analog devices, and MTO all came grouped at the top. What's the similarity between these? If I go into this report from Street Quant analysis, here I pulled the Agilent Technologies to see what they're doing and what it is. I've done a full intrinsic evaluation on this company. I know a little bit about it. But key for me for this analysis is that compared to TMO and MTD, Agilent is a poor performer. Same here. So what do I expect? If things are going down, I expect Agilent to go even quicker down than the others. This is just a summary of them. And these are in this peer group. Same peer group with Agilent. We have MTD, as we saw there. It's also doing the same thing. TMO is also doing the same thing. So there is a trend that in these devices companies, they're all doing the same thing at the same time. That's a group effect of stocks in the same industry. I'll leave that. I'm not inclined to do lots of fundamental analysis today. Just want to go to Agilent and show you here what I'm going to illustrate on these charts is the multiple time frame agreement where the daily, the weekly, and the monthly chart are agreeing on one thing. And what are they agreeing on? I'll start with the daily chart. This is a high probability scenario. When you find the daily chart, the weekly chart, and the monthly chart agreeing on one thing, you have a good chance. Look at this stock RSIs of mine. That's where the scan was based. that if all of them are grouped at the top there, it's a potential topping zone. There we have it currently. There we had that at that previous top there. They were all grouped there. Yeah. I've done some videos on this grouping effect. I'm not going to stay long and try to elaborate on this concept. There you have them grouped at the bottom there, and that was your bottom. This point has been made several times. Those who still believe that tops cannot be picked, will try it in another century. So this is a topping zone based on daily charts. If I go to the weekly charts, in the weekly chart, I'm getting the same effect. They are all grouped at the top there. So on the weekly chart, it's also a topping zone. There they were grouped at the bottom there. That's where you hit the bottom of the market. Then the monthly, there they are again, grouped at the top, and this should be a topping zone. They were last grouped there. That was a topping zone. They were grouped there. That was a topping zone. Grouped at the bottom there, bottom zone. So I don't need to paint that point any further. So we're having the monthly, weekly, and daily charts all telling us Agilent is in a topping zone. That's what I wanted to illustrate. That's what I'm picking for my week, this week. The chart which I would go with is Agilent shorting it using options, definitely. And if one is inclined to do some relative strength analysis, rather go, okay, on a monthly basis, on a monthly basis, you can see that since 2016, Agilent has been outperforming the S&P SPX. Fine, but that's not where I am. What I really want is to go to the performance relative to TMO. And let's see how it's performing relative to stock in its industry. Since 2012, it's been underperforming TMO. So TMO has been doing way better than it. Okay, let's look at the other one was MTD. Why don't I have it here? Maybe I made a mistake in typing. MTD. Oh man. Okay, let me just go quickly and see. It's MTD. That's the one which I want. That's what I'm trying to get here. MT. Okay, it's failing to come through. I don't know why, but something wrong somewhere. MTD. Okay, I'll pass that. So against the TMO, it's been underperforming. So it's a good candidate for me shorting it, because on its way down, it should underperform. You saw that in this research, they also say it's underperforming these others. And yeah, that's my candidate for shorting. The rest of how I come to this, if you look at my video from last week, it's detailed that. Today I'm not looking at the process, I'm just showing you which stock I'm picking for this week. And this one is a shorting. Last week I was buying Agilent Sciences. This time around, I'm shorting Agilent Technologies. That's the brief, guys. It's Tusanang, PM Sebata is shorting Agilent Technologies. I thank you. Bye-bye.